back to Harut tonight.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So I heard that the Ashers are very good readers. So we're now going through the Haggadah Shel Pesach. Would you mind reading the paragraph of Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah? That's right after the Avadim Hayinu, the second paragraph after, in our little companion here, Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Go ahead.
אמר רבי אלעזר בן עזריה, הרי אני כבן 70 שנה ולא זכיתי שתאמר יציאת מצרים בלילות עד שדרשה בן זומא שנאמר למה תזכור את יום צאתך מארץ מצרים כל ימי חייך.
Okay, so do you know what that means actually, that Mishnah? There's English on the side if you need any help.
This one, didn't we have this? We had this one last week.
Yeah, remember where we
The
had it?
rabbi was very old and he wasn't able to prove that he wanted to, that we have to say Kriyat Shema at night.
Uh-huh. So we had that discussion last week in reference to Kriyat Shema by day and by night. Do you have to say Kriyat Shema only by day or by day and by night? We're talking about like Kriyat Shema every day of the week. So that's that Mishnah over here.
Right.
So many people say in the Haggadah Shel Pesach, they know the tune, maybe they might not know what it's saying. So is anything disturbing you with this Mishnah over here?
I don't know.
Does it seem to belong in the Haggadah?
Well, it's talking about leaving Mitzrayim.
That's true.
So that should qualify it.
But it's really talking about Kriyat Shema. So it's not Kriyat Shema. What's it doing in the Haggadah Shel Pesach? That's going to be a question that bothers us. What are we talking about? Regular Kriyat Shema every night? When that's not what we're talking about. This is the Haggadah. Haggadah is not Kriyat Shema. You're right. They're both related to Yetziat Mitzrayim. The Haggadah is about Yetziat Mitzrayim, and every day and night I have to talk about Yetziat Mitzrayim. But you know what? Tefillin is also about Yetziat Mitzrayim, and a lot of other things. We don't put them in the Haggadah. So what's this doing in the Haggadah? That's our problem. So, anytime you want to understand something, it's always best to open up the Chumash and look inside. So let's take a look where this shows up in the Chumash, this pasuk. It's in Parashat Re'eh. It's a summer parasha. And again, Ashers know how to read. So let's maybe, let's read. I don't know, you know how to do it with the Tami? Shamor?
You want to do it with the time?
Yeah, whatever, if you're comfortable.
No, we can just read it.
Go ahead.
שמור את חודש האביב ועשית פסח לאדוני אלוהיך כי בחודש האביב הוציאך אדוני אלוהיך ממצרים לילה.
So that's a pasuk, Shamor et Chodesh Aviv. You know what that means? I think you know what that means. Shamor et Chodesh Aviv.
We have to guard the month of Aviv.
And in this context, guard means make sure
that it comes out at the right time.
The springtime. Good. So you're making Korban Pesach. Pasuk Bet tells us, V'zavachta, you're going to slaughter it. Pasuk Gimel says, Lo tochal av chametz. Ki b'chipazon yatzat me'eretz Mitzrayim. So basically we're telling you, have a Korban Pesach, have matzah. Why? L'man tizkor et yom sedecha me'eretz Mitzrayim kol yamecha. So that you should remember. What does Rashi say on the bottom? L'man tizkor ayidei achilat Pesach v'matzah yom sedecha. The goal of the Seder night is to remember Yetziat Mitzrayim your whole life. That means the night of the Seder is the catalyst for our Yetziat Mitzrayim for the whole year. It's like you charge your battery. So we're charging our Yetziat Mitzrayim battery on the night of the Haggadah. So we want to tell you, what's the goal? The goal is that tomorrow night, and the next night, and the next night, and days, for the next 354 years till next year, Pesach, we're going to say Yetziat Mitzrayim properly. So therefore, that could be a possible reason they inserted this in the Haggadah, to let you know what's the end goal. The end goal is Laman Tizkor. This pasuk, Laman Tizkor, was said in the Torah by a Seder night. At the Seder, Laman Tizkor. So we want to tell you what the goal is. That's a beautiful concept. That's one simple reason what we're doing over here is to set the stage, let you know where we going with this.
Nice.
Aim. You start to have to say there. Aim. What's the aim of the Seder night? To be infused with Yetziat Mitzrayim for the rest of the year.
Beautiful.
Good?
Yeah.
Very nice. Now, anytime you really want to understand something, you have to go back to the sources. So we're going to try to understand the Haggadah Shel Pesach. And we're going to look at some sources. The first source, actually, remember our chart from last week? So, I don't know if... so we had different columns. We're going to just focus on the first column, which is in Kadesh Li Kol Bechor. So Kadesh Li Kol Bechor talks about, it starts off with the firstborn, but it doesn't really go on with that. That's really the second column. We're not going to go into why. So Moshe tells the people, Zachor et hayom hazeh sheyetzatem mitzrayim mibeit avadim. Remember this day. Ki bechol zeh yad hotzi Hashem etchem mizeh v'lo yachel chametz. Remember this day. When is this talking about? Remember this day. Hayom atem yotzim b'chodesh aviv. Vayaki aviacha. Shivat yamim tochal matzot. Matzot yachel. Remember this day when? So the Rambam says, remember this day. Mitzvah taseh shel Torah l'saper, to tell the miracles and wonders that happened to us on the night of the 15th, as it says, Zachor yom hazeh. Remember this day. And the Rambam says, just like it says Zachor yom Shabbat, remember Shabbat. When do you remember Shabbat? On Shabbat in Kiddush. So just like you remember Shabbat on Shabbat, remember Pesach on Pesach. So this is the source to remember the Seder. To remember Yetziat Mitzrayim by the Seder.
Wow.
We say it every single day of the year. We don't even realize we're referencing back and forth. By the Haggadah, we're saying remember every day of the year. Every day of the year, remember by the Haggadah. I don't know how many people realize that every single day they're reading the mitzvah that they have to make a Haggadah Shel Pesach.
I hope everyone's saying this every day.
Again, I hope so too. When you put on your tefillin, you're supposed to say this. Now, at the end of this same column, this parasha, it says, V'yigalta levincha b'yom hahu lemor b'avur zeh asa Hashem li b'tzeitim Mitzrayim, which is the pasuk of the Haggadah Shel Pesach. The pasuk of Haggadah, V'yigadata, Haggadah, is in that same parasha. And the Rambam continues and says, it's on the 15th, as it says, on that day, because of this, like we're going to say later on, how do I know when to do it? Because this means the matzah. When you point to the matzah and maror, that's your Zulu story. So this parasha actually has two references to the Haggadah.
Right.
One with Zachor and one with V'yigadta levincha.
Fantastic.
Okay? That's in the Torah Shebechtav. It's not enough to do Torah Shebechtav alone. You have to go to the Torah Shebal Peh. So we're going to find out. Okay, God told me to do a Haggadah, but what exactly is the format? You can't say, okay, Haggadah, do what? It's like tefillin. What's tefillin? I don't know what tefillin is. Bein Einecha. Where's Bein Einecha? I don't know. If you don't have the Torah Shebal Peh telling you what to do, you don't know what to do. Any mitzvah. A Pri Eitz Hadar. What's a Pri Eitz Hadar? I don't know. This is maybe baby flowers. Very nice flowers, right? Maybe that's what Pri. Maybe we're supposed to hold a flower on Sukkot. I don't know. You need Torah Shebal Peh. So a Mishnah is going to tell us, which comes from Sinai, how to do the Haggadah. It's not going to write the Haggadah. Someone else wrote the Haggadah. We don't know exactly who, but after the time of that era, they wrote the Haggadah. They wrote the Haggadah based on the Mishnah. So we're going to read the Mishnah now. This is the earliest text of the Haggadah, so you'll appreciate where it came from. We'll understand what we're supposed to do. Tefillin, what is it? It's a black box. It's square. There's dimensions and specifications. What are the dimensions and specifications of Haggadah Shel Pesach? I want to do the mitzvah right. What do I have to do? Go ahead. Read the Mishnah, please. It's nice having someone that knows how to read. There's less effort on my part. Mishnah over here, yeah.
מזגו לו כוס שני, וכאן הבן שואל אביו, ואם אין דעת בבן אביו מלמדו, מה נשתנה הלילה הזה מכל הלילות?
Right, so we pour the cup, and the son asks a question. If the son can't ask, the father prompts him. We want the son to ask a question. Good. And what are his questions? 4 questions. What are they? Go ahead.
מה נשתנה הלילה הזה מכל הלילות? שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים חמץ או מסע. הלילה הזה כולו מסע.
Question number 1.
שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים שאר ירקות. הלילה הזה מרור.
Question number 2.
שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים בשר סלי, סלוק ומבושל. הלילה הזה כולו סלי.
All nights we eat meat, whether it's cooked or roasted
Where
or
did this
whatever.
come from? I don't remember ever seeing that in the Haggadah.
You don't ask this question every year?
No, I don't think we do. No.
I'm not sure. Maybe on the trip they have a different text.
So are you saying here in Brooklyn that they do say?
Well, let's check the Haggadah. Go on.
There we go.
Actually, you are right.
Yeah.
They ask about Misubin instead. They substituted Misubin. Why do we lean and why don't we lean? That's an interesting point. They switched the text. Okay, and the last question is about the dipping. About the dipping.
שבכל הלילות אנו חייבים לטבול אפילו פעם אחת, הלילה הזה שתי פעמים.
Okay, so that's an interesting point. So now, what do you, when you see the original text in the Mishnah, they're asking about 3 things. They're asking about why are we eating matzah, why are we eating maror, why are we eating Pesach. Do those 3 things, those 3 words, Pesach, matzah, maror, ring a bell?
Yeah, I think we say them at some point in the Haggadah.
To some point in the Haggadah, we say, Rabban Gamliel haya omer, kol mi shelo amar shlosha dvarim elu, lo yatzai yedei chavato. Pesach, Matzah, Maror. What do they do like when you have a lot of people together at that point of the Haggadah?
Those are the three magic words. You say those, and then you're done.
You're done, right? You just tell everyone quiet, say those three words, and you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fulfilled your obligation.
Now, we're going to see a little later you didn't really fulfill your obligation. But you see the connection? These questions, the 4 questions, are really 3 questions with a prompter. The why do we dip is like a side issue. That's not a real major question. But the 3 questions are really about the 3 mitzvot. We want to understand the mitzvot of the night. And we're going to explain to the child later on why we're having these mitzvot. Because these mitzvot, as we're going to see, maybe not right now, but these mitzvot are catalysts again. They're prompters. Like they want you to ask the question, so we'll discuss it. They're like props. You have a prop there, like here, you have flowers over here. We have like a little card, Lev Chana card over here. It's a prop. We want people that heard about Lev Chana, maybe made a pledge, or maybe didn't pledge, should pledge. So it's a prop here. So you say, hey, what's this? Oh, it's a Lev Chana card. I'll tell you about Lev Chana. It's a great organization. So just like I have a prop over here, Hashem also made props for the kids on the table. They're props. So we start off the Seder with these props to get them to ask these questions to answer them. Okay, continue.
מתחיל בגנות ומסיים בשבח.
Beautiful. We start with the negative and we end with the positive. That's another fundamental. They're telling you fundamentals. Do you know where in the Haggadah we do that? Start with the negative, end with the positive?
I think we read about Terach was our...
Mitzichila, right? That's a little later, but we do it twice. The first time is actually Avadim Hayinu.
Okay.
There's physical bondage and spiritual bondage. You have to mention both of them. They actually show up in the Gemara a little bit later on. My Begnut, a little bit later on. Matkil Begnut. My Begnut, you see that? Rav Amar Mitzichila Odil Hayu Avotenu. Shmuel Amar Avadim Hayinu.
Yes.
So we do both. But that's where it shows up. Again, that's how it works. You have a Pasuk, you have a Mishnah, you have a Gemara. So the Mishnah is telling me the fundamentals. And last fundamental is, go ahead. V'doresh.
ודורש מארמי עובד אבי עד שיגמול כל הפרשה כולה.
You have to doresh from Arami Oved Avi. Do you know where that shows up in the Torah? Arami Oved Avi?
Somewhere in Devarim.
Somewhere in Devarim. Kitavo, very good. Kitavo. Now it actually has nothing to do with the night of the Seder. That's why it's very interesting when you look it up inside. 1068. It has nothing to do with the night of the Seder. Vayaki tavo al ha'aretz Hashem ha'shokecha noten lecha nachla v'yishta v'shavta ba. It's talking about Bikurim. And in the middle of Bikurim, they tell you what you're supposed to say. V'anita l'marta pasukei, Arami Oved Avi. There's actually 5 pasukim. You finish the parasha, there's 5. V'yivi'enu l'makom hazeh, which you'll see in 1060 in the art scroll. That's talking about when we had the Beit HaMikdash, we actually got in. We don't do that today. We only do 4, they did 5. So basically, we're finding out and actually the next Mishnah is going to go further on. Sorry, the next Mishnah. Rabban Gamliel Yaomer, Kol Shlomar Shlosha Durim Ele BePesach Lo Yatzai Yedei Chovato VeElo Pesach Matzah Maror. So that's also, and then he continues on, explains these 3 mitzvot, and then they go on to say you have to feel like you got out. Now, we're going to get back to our point over here, which is, what is this Mishnah doing over here? So there's a rabbi called the Emek Bracha that explains like this. We want to know what's the difference between tonight and all other nights. We're trying to actually ask him a question. I have to do Yetziat Mitzrayim every night of the year. What's special now? And there's 3 or 4 basic differences which we'll see a little later inside from the Lashon Rambam. Number 1, and actually it's in these Haggadahs, we're going to point out those differences. If you look at unique aspects of Magid, it tells us as follows. It gives us the differences between Magid, and your job is actually to find it in the Haggadah. Number 1. Start with the negative, end with the positive. We don't have to do that every night of the year. Number 2, it has to be at length. Call it Mabelis. You can't just say, we got out of Egypt. You got to go at length. And how do we do that at length? When we explain these 4 Pesukim. You'll see later on, Arami Oved Avi Doresh, you have to explain at length these 4 Pesukim. Number 3, the children have to ask questions. Number 4, you have to explain these mitzvot. And lastly, you have to feel like you got out of Egypt. Every night you have to feel that. So that's going to be our goal, to go from the Pasuk to the Mishnah to the Gemara to the Rambam, and to understand how the Magid is made up. And you're going to be able to, this is a beautiful companion over here that explains all of the steps of Magid, and hopefully you'll have a better Seder.
This is a great tool. Can I take this with me?
You can have it, yes. It's a gift from the Chavrutana.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Thank you.